no doubt that interviewing is the most intimidating part of the process of looking for a job as an early childhood educator or teacher. I have been there, and I went through a lot of interviews, face-to-face and online virtual interviews, and I can help you to prepare for the virtual interview and to get this job if you follow my advice. So why virtual or online interview is different from face-to-face interview? It is obviously requiring you to connect digitally. So you need to be familiar with the platform that the interviewer is going to be using, for example, Zoom, Teams. You also need to be able to look at the camera and maintain eye contact. And you need to have microphone and have the skills of speaking with someone through the screen. But thanks to COVID and the development of social media, we all have some kind of presentation skills that are required by the modern age. Yet, there are a few things that you can keep working on and improve. Number one is get to know their digital platform that they are going to use. For example, I have been through the interviews via Zoom, via meetings, Teams, and Google meetings as well. So a lot of different platforms. They all have their own qualities, and you might not have the app on your phone or on your computer. So make sure that you do get prepared and download this special software that you need to use. Before you connect to the people who are going to interview you, you need to try to connect to the program yourself. You also need to check whether your microphone is working, whether your camera is set up. Nowadays, modern laptops do have cameras and do have microphones, but sometimes if it's a complicated setup, like in my case, I might have a special microphone or speakers that are inbuilt, so you need to choose which microphone you are going to use. So check all these settings in advance, and you are going to be fine. The second consideration is to get dressed. So dress professionally. Make sure that you look like you are attending face-to-face interview. So we can dress professionally when we are at home, of course. For example, we can put on some casual, smart casual suit like I am wearing right now. We can do our hair. We can prepare to be presentable. The other important thing is to consider what kind of things you're going to use during your interview. Some people prefer notes. I like mind maps. You definitely will need a pen and a notebook or any device that you will be able to document any notes. Some people prepare questions in advance, and that's what my previous videos are all about, to get ready for the questions you're going to be asked and get your answers ready as well, or at least drafts of these answers. You need to prepare some examples in advance because this is a virtual interview. It might be quite fast-paced. The speaker might be interrupted. You also need to consider a lot of other things that could go wrong. For example, connectivity. Your internet might not be as good as you thought. Their internet might not be good as they thought. So you might be disconnected. So being flexible is also important. So the next thing you need to consider is communication. Communication virtual is slightly different. As I said, you need to maintain eye contact. So play with your camera a little bit. Record yourself on your phone or on the computer to make sure that when you speak, you're not looking like this away. So that was my thing when I was on the learning to make videos. I couldn't find where to look at so that it will maintain eye contact. Eye contact is very, very important part of building this rapport with your interviewer. So you need to know where is the camera and try to position your camera the way that it is as if you are looking at the person. If you look at the person on the screen like I'm trying to do right now, you can see that the eye contact is going to change. So make sure that you do look at the camera. Before you start, make sure that you get your tea or coffee or drink of your choice ready. If chamomile tea is soothing for you or coffee is making you energetic and upbeat, get ready and have a drink before you speak because of your voice. So this will help you to communicate more confidently and clearly. The other thing you can use for virtual interviews is to create an environment that is beautiful and professional. If your room doesn't look clean, blur the background. That's one of the most important things, because if there is a mess behind you, it doesn't look that professional, right? So we need to understand that, yes, we are doing this interview from home or in the car park, but we do have the option to blur the background. So look at the screen in the app that you are using, for example, whether it's Zoom or Google meetings or their virtual Teams meetings, you are able to blur the background. Next consideration is to make sure that you are doing this interview in a quiet area. For example, for that purpose, I have my office. It's an office that used to be a laundry, but it's away from all the noise. And if my partner is playing the guitar, it's not coming through clearly. So I can speak and I can hear the questions, because nothing can go wrong when you are able to hear the questions. If you are not able to hear what they're asking, it's very confusing. It's ruining a bad impression. So try to make sure that you are doing this interview in a quiet, secluded space with blurred background where no one can disturb you. It might be a good idea, like we did during COVID, to put something on the wall or the door to tell others that meeting is in progress. Or you can tell people who are with you. I know children sometimes are hard to reason with, so same with dogs. I have a dog that might start scratching, or the cat can start meowing. But try to make sure that you told everyone who is able to understand that the next hour you're going to be busy, and you negotiate this free time, obviously, in advance. The last advice is to be authentic. To be authentic is very important. Of course, it's not face-to-face interview, and you're not going to be natural, because interviewing, as I said, is an intimidating process. It's almost like public speaking. Once I had an interview where 3 or 4 people were looking at me at the same time, and some of them were making notes. It's almost like you present to a commission. But it might be a good experience for you as a teacher or educator. Why? Because sometimes we have to present at those meetings. We need to talk to parents during parent-teachers interviews, and we also sometimes need to do public speeches during graduation night. Consider this as a rehearsal for your public speaking skills, and stay confident, be authentic, mistake, apologize, and keep going. Try to be relaxed. I use sometimes essential oils. I put plants in my office so they relax me as well. I look outside for a little bit before the interview. Take 5-10 deep breaths as well, and tell myself that everything's going to be fine. Whether I pass this interview or not, it's going to be a great learning experience. I might make good connections. Once the interview is over, you do the same drill as with face-to-face interview. You thank people who interviewed you, and you say that it was a pleasure and great opportunity to get to know them. You can follow up with an email after the interview is over and ask how did you go to gain some feedback. But typically, if they will offer you a job, they will contact you. So that's it from me. I hope you will get this job, and I hope you wouldn't look at the interviews, whether virtual or face-to-face, as an intimidating process. Please watch my other videos on the interview questions. If you like this video, share it with other people, especially educators, and click subscribe. Bye for now.